Okay, so my Addy Powers showed up in the mail a few days ago, and today we are gonna go test them out. For anybody who doesn't know who I am not a power lifter. I am not a competitor of any kind. I am not a strong person. What I am is somebody who really likes to lift, love to squat, kind of invested in these. I picked up the Addy Powers. So these are my brand new Ollie shoes. Never squatted in Ollie shoes before of any kind, and I don't really know what to expect. Why did I pick the Addy Powers? I don't know. It mostly came from just word of mouth, kind of asking around in my gym. You know, what do you use? What do you like? What is the purpose of Ollie shoes? Do you recommend them? Are they a good investment? Whatever. So yeah, I thought they were a pretty safe bet. What are my expectations? Or my hopes for these. I'm hoping that the very firm sole will give me a better base and hopefully better sense of balance, a little bit more comfort throughout my squats. I'm only going to be squatting in these. I don't do any sort of Olympic weightlifting, so I'm not going to be using these for anything else. I'm also hoping that the kind of the elevated heel here. I don't have great ankle mobility, so and one thing that I've been working on a lot lately is my depth in my squat. So I'm hoping that the little elevation in the heel will give me a little bit more, give me a little help in the depth department. At least make it a little bit more comfortable to get nice and low. So other than that, I have no idea. So we're gonna go try them out, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts, as invaluable as they must be to you, or as worthless as they might be to you. So let's go try them out. For anybody else out there that is a 90s kid, 90s pop punk era kid, the new Blink-182 album is everything I wanted it to be. Anyways, so I guess first impressions, before I even get in there and put the shoes on. I mean, I've been squatting in just whatever shoes that I train in. You know, Converse Chuck Taylors, Nike Free Trains, things like that. I mean, obviously they've got the firm sole and the elevated heel, and all around just seem much more, you know, solid. And there's not a lot of flex going on pretty much anywhere in the shoe. A lot of sort of like a lot of padding on the back part of the heel here, and that's pretty consistent throughout the entire shoe. I like the idea of the strap as a way of kind of securing it more onto your foot. There's nothing really worse than feeling like you're sliding around in your shoe while you're squatting. So it seems to me like this is pretty much well tailored to getting it perfectly around your feet, so that the last thing you have on your mind is the fit of the shoe. Obviously you still have to size it properly, but the shoe takes care of a lot of that for you. It looks like. I haven't put any of these on yet. My plan is, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, I brought my regular shoes. And I'm gonna warm up in those. Gonna do my first few sets. You know, I'm gonna work up to my working weight in these shoes, and I'm gonna do one warm-up set in these. I'm gonna change right before the set before I get to my working weight. I'm gonna change into these, and just so I can, you know, refresh my memory onto how it normally feels when I squat versus how it feels when I'm wearing these. So that's the plan, and I will see. Well, you're probably already seeing it, so enjoy. I'll tell you all final impressions coming in a, geez, I don't know. whatever. Stop talking. Okay, one more set and we'll throw the shoes on. Is there like a way that you're supposed to put them on? Because I just laced them up like the regular shoes and buckled them over. Is that wrong? I don't know. I got a good feeling about this.
He's joining us. Like the three of them are now, and Victor over there, all with Adidas. I'm like the only one left behind. How does it feel, Kevin?
I can adjust it usually, but in here, like I can't. I'm glued to the floor. Like I can't move my feet once I'm set up.
Does it help any depth? Do you feel deep?
No, I just watched the back. That depth was horrible. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of it. It's just feels a little weird because the heel pushes you up a little bit, and I have a tendency to lean a little bit forward, so having my heels elevated a little more makes me kind of feel like I'm going down and forward, and I get scared, and it kind of stops me from going all the way down. But I think I'm getting the hang of it and learn to just trust, because it is very stable. So just kind of trusting the process, trust the shoes that I'm not going to fall to my death, and yeah, also dropping the weight helps a little bit. Okay, so final thoughts on the Adi Power from first impressions. It's very, very, very different. If you've never squatted in ollie shoes or even worn them before, like me, it's more of a difference than I thought. I guess I did my normal warm-up sets in my regular shoes, and second to last warm-up set I changed my shoes, which looking back was probably a mistake. Just because switching to shoes that you've never worn before at that kind of a weight, that close to your working weight, it's a lot all at once, and it's a lot of adjustment. But I mean, ultimately, major differences is you really are glued to the floor. Once you set up your footing, once you unrack the weight and walk it back, you are planted on the floor. Where you set your feet is where your feet are set. You know, normally I could walk the weight back, and if my footing is kind of off, I can adjust my footing. I can kind of slide my feet around in just regular Nike free trainers, but not the case in the Adi Powers. Once your feet are set, they are set, and it's very difficult to move your footing around. So you need to have that down pat really, and get set up properly. Also, having the elevated heel really messed with my head, just because a bad habit I have is to lean kind of forward and kind of shift forward on my descent. And with my heel off the ground, it kind of feels, in my head, it feels like you're going forward just because your heel is up off the ground, literally. So it kind of felt like I was tipping forward, and it messed with my head a little bit. But you know, as I settled in and started to trust the shoes more, and started to trust my knowledge of the movement a little more, I settled in, and I got the depth kind of pretty down pat, and Also, you know, I decided to kind of back off the weight just because working at my regular working weight in brand new footwear, it was more of a difference than I thought it was going to be, so I just decided to kind of back off the weight. One thing that's good about these is that it forces you to set up your feet right in the middle of your heel. For me, I tend to kind of push from this side of my foot or lean on the outside of my foot. This really forces you to set your feet flat and really push from the middle, focus on your heel, and drive, you know, from the right spot. Otherwise, it's very uncomfortable to try to lean your feet, just because the flatness and the firmness of the sole does not allow you to do it. So for me, it helped me notice a lot of things that I was doing incorrectly with my squat. A lot of things that I'm doing improperly, and the kind of little tiny bad habits that I picked up from squatting. Final thoughts: do you need ollie shoes to squat? I would say no. You don't need any equipment to do anything. You can do, if you have weight and you know generally how to perform the movement, you can do the movement. You don't need certain equipment, whatever. You don't need a belt, you don't need knee sleeves, you don't need compression pants, you don't need ollie shoes. You don't need them. But I mean, you'll see in my case, it helped correct a lot of my form. I mean, I would say you probably need these about as much as you need a belt with 80% of your working weight, or 80% of your 1 rep max. You can do it without it, but it helps you do it properly, feel more comfortable, feel more solid, and I think ultimately it will improve your overall strength and skill with movements like this. So, would I recommend it? Yes, sure. If it's within your if it's within reason for you, go ahead, try them out. But you can live without them. I could have lived without them, but I mean, I do really enjoy them. I will definitely be squatting in these going forward, and if I missed anything, which I'm sure I did, I will correct it either later, while editing, or somewhere in the comments. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll check in with you eventually. I'm not good with getting these out in a timely manner, so see you later. Whoop.